All right, day 12. So we're going to continue with the same topic where we're going to be graphing linear inequalities. So a very quick refresh. It's going to be a short video, just an example, and then you're going to jump into your quizzes practice. So slope-intercept form has the slope, has the y-intercept, m is a slope, b is a y-intercept. But instead of having an equal sign looking at equations when we're graphing, we are now going to be using our four inequality symbols. Greater than or equal to, or less than or equal to. Because the solution could be equal to that point on that line, you're going to use a solid line when graphing. If it was greater than or less than, not equal to in this case, you're going to use a dashed line. So it's showing where your line exists, but your solution doesn't actually exist on that line. And then the second thing, once you create your line, decide whether you're shading above your line, so all the area above your line, or all the area below your line. So if it's greater than or equal to or greater than, you're shading above. If it's less than or equal to or less than, you are shading below. So again, we're going to go through one example on our big board here. And then you're going to complete your quizzes for your practice. So we have an inequality up here. It says y is greater than negative 3 over 4x plus 2. So immediately when I'm going to graph this, I already know what my slope is and my y-intercept, since it's written in slope-intercept form, and I can continue graphing. So my y-intercept is up here at 2, so on the y-axis, I'm going to plot the point at 0, negative 2. That's where our y-intercept is. And then I'm going to follow my slope. Negative 3 over 4 means my rise, in this case, is going down 3 and to the right 4. So going back to my y-intercept, I'm going to be going down 3 units, 1, 2, 3, and over to the right 4 units, 1, 2, 3, 4. And again, we continue this until we run out of space on our coordinate plane. Down 3, 1, 2, 3, and over to the right 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And if I were to go down 3 units and over to the right 4, I'd be off my coordinate plane. So I'm going to continue my slope in the opposite direction. If my pattern was to go down 3, right 4, now the opposite would be going up 3, 1, 2, 3, and over to the left 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Up 3, 1, 2, 3, and over to the left 4. And again, I'd run out of space on my coordinate plane. So before I even make my graph, I'm going to look at this symbol again. It says greater than. When I find greater than on this little organizational tool, greater than is going to be using a dashed line. So in order to connect these points, I'm going to use a nice dashed line. I'm going to pick up my marker every now and again to create my line. And then I need to decide whether I'm shading above or below. Greater than, that's all the numbers bigger than the y-intercept of 2. So the numbers that are bigger than 2 would be all these numbers up here. And so if you're thinking about this, if this were making a mountain, the mountain would be down here and this would be the sky. So where you're going to shade in this case is this entire area of your coordinate plane. So your solutions, your set of solution is all these points that exist above this dashed line. If you were going to change one thing about this inequality, if you were going to make this greater than or equal to, you would have followed the exact same steps. The only thing that would change in this case is our dashed line would become a solid line. So again, you'd have the exact same graph, the exact same shading, except this time your line would be solid. So today's practice is going to be a quizzes. There's about 13 questions that have to do with inequalities, and then of course your daily 3 to keep those skills fresh. So email me if you have any questions. Otherwise, enjoy your weekend.